Whitehouse crypto summit today. Trump signed a Bitcoin actually a Bitcoin strategic reserve executive order yesterday. Is it time to buy? Are we looking for a deeper dip? Likely coming. I'm going to point out exactly what's showing up in this market, what the signs and signals are, and what we need to do to make sure that we can stay on top of the trend of what is happening in this market. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're Guys, there's so much going on today that we need to make sure that we do not jack ourselves up because Bitcoin, altcoins, crypto market, what do we need to be paying attention to? With that being said, everybody hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell. We got some chart signals and everything going on in this market. So let's get into it. Let's go live. Let's cook. The seismic shift has happened from the point that Trump was elected into office back on November 5th. For what we've seen from then to where we're at right now is an overwhelming bullish outlook for what we're seeing ahead. In fact, he's keeping his promises. We're seeing an entire crypto-friendly and empowering administration in office now. We've got some charts and signals, and we've got to find gratitude in our hearts that these markets aren't running away. I thought you were supposed to be a bull, Kelly. I am a bull. I'm such a bull that I am so grateful that these prices are not running away. Now, we want the prices to go up. We want the market to get more bullish and have those just melt parabolic to the upside. But the fact that we have a substantiated bullish case and outlook for what's coming and the adoption that's about to arrive into this market, the demand that's going to basically just only increase from here, sets me up for any price action to the downside right now, leads me to believe that this is a buyer's market more than we've ever seen, an asymmetrical opportunity in Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, and more. When we dive in and looking at what's going on in the charts, oh my God, let me just double click here. Let me double click. There we go. Look at this bullish trend. Look at this. This is the total. Everything in the market minus the largest two stablecoins, USDC and minus USDT. Looking at just the crypto out here, this massive bullish trend coming back to retest right in the previous range highs, as we can see here. And the fact that we have the crypto summit today and it's not just running away, that's okay. And I'm going to talk about why that is and what we need to pay attention to so that we can take advantage of this market rather than it continuing to take advantage of us. And usually I want you to realize the market is not taking advantage of you at all. The market is setting up certain emotional signals that is allowing you, giving you reason to hand your crypto over to other people that have a better vision and a better strategy. So let's get into it today, because when we look at everything going on in the market, we're seeing some red across the market. Now, why is this if we had an executive order yesterday on Bitcoin and a crypto summit today with some of the top players in the crypto industry there at the White House with the president? I think right now what is imbued more than anything is over expectation as to what we should be expecting in this market. You can't expect something in this market realistically and not get wrecked, because when you expect, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I'm going to basically point out exactly what we're seeing right now. So let's get through it. Let's talk about it, exactly what's going on. Let's get into this. Well, right here, I said this morning, I said 97%. That's an arbitrary number, but a very high likelihood or unlikelihood that the crypto summit today at the White House will be beyond expectations. That is important because even when stocks come in at expectation, the price falls. So if we're not even meeting expectation and it's not beyond expectation, what do we expect? Then that means we can forecast that there's going to be a higher likelihood that we're going to get a sell-off today, even though this is so overwhelmingly bullish in the long term. Today, markets will more likely pull back. I outlined this. I did that in the morning short as well. Most bullish setup in history today sets up a buying opportunity. I truly believe that. You're going to need to do what you think you should do in this market, but I do believe that the fact that we have the most bullish case in history and we're seeing markets pull back ever since the inauguration day, January 20th, actually leads me to believe that this is more of a buying opportunity than we could have expected. And this is incredible. Don't be surprised by a pullback today. Furthermore, we see everybody, oh, it's going to get crypto game. Well, the White House official said Trump's crypto summit is not going to have anything on taxes. Now, if that does come out, and now we've kind of mitigated some of this expectation, maybe it's good. I would argue that if we do get something on taxes, it's more likely than not going to be something to the effect that if you want to pay your taxes in crypto, maybe it mitigates some of the capital gains that you would pay on it if you're paying in crypto. But again, this says there's nothing on taxes. So we've got that at least sort of risk mitigated there. So let's understand that having Sergey Nazarov, having members from different Sergey Nazarov from Chainlink, having different members of the crypto ecosystem. Was it Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, the Winklevoss twins from Gemini, and seeing other players in this space having meaningful conversation, essentially in one step, really codifying not only with the executive order yesterday for Bitcoin, but also having these major players, these powerhouses, these pillars in the crypto ecosystem that are based here in the US, having conversations at the White House. It seems more likely than not those conversations are going to be, all right, you guys, we've been stepping on your damn throats as a government for basically since the existence of crypto came out. We have a new sheriff in town. We have a new boss in town. We have a new enforcement regime in town that is actually about enforcing actual corruption, but actually empowering innovation in this space, putting this on the world stage, getting meaningful discussions around what the barriers and frameworks and the boundaries and what is our path moving forward. That seems like, even if you feel like that's not bullish because maybe they're not going to say they're adding XRP, maybe they're not going to say they're going to add Chase. Who gives a fuck? These conversations are overwhelmingly bullish as to the inclusion at the presidential level as to what the path is moving forward. Does that mean we need to be a little bit more patient? Maybe. In fact, here's a little bit of that outline today, 2:30 p.m. There should be an executive order. Interesting to see what that might be. 3 p.m., President Trump to deliver a speech at the White House. That speech will likely garner more volatility than anything that is signed, because it's much like when we get the FOMC meeting decision out, and then we wait that 30 minutes, and then Jerome Powell comes out and everybody's on a razor's edge about is his tone dovish or hawkish? Is he going to be more, hey, we're going to get rate cuts soon, or hey, there's not going to be any rate cuts? The conversation, his tonality and the word choices tends to have more impact as of late than the decision. Similarly here with the crypto summit, it's going to be very interesting to see what Donald Trump says at this speech, and is it going to be televised, and what clippets and what snippets from that's going to basically reach the public. It's a big day today. To me, it's a non-trading day. I do not trade this kind because there's no telling about what's going to happen in the price action around all of this. It's going to be very interesting to see what type of executive order is going to be signed today as well. Maybe it's a sovereign wealth fund that will also include some investments in altcoins. Who knows? Let's let the chips fall where they may today. Let the market react to it, suss it all out over the weekend, and really revisit this with what's going on Monday, Tuesday next week. But remember, there's so many implications about having that strategic Bitcoin reserve signed yesterday, and what that means also for registered investment advisors out there that have still been on the fence about recommending Bitcoin ETFs. This has become a persistent talking point in every level of government the world over in the last 6 months. And so some of these players that have been on the fence are likely going to either start pulling the trigger and giving advice around this, positive advice, but also ultra high net worth individuals may be on the fence. Now's the signal to start moving in. Ultra high net worth individuals, they don't have bureaucracies that they have to contend with. They will likely, I think we're going to start seeing movement on buying pressure coming to the market. Sometimes it takes a little time, but I'm going to break this down a little bit for you. The signal yesterday really tells everybody get your shit together and start getting allocated to Bitcoin, because the world is moving there, and that's directed by what we're seeing at the White House on a presidential level here in the US. So sovereign wealth funds in Abu Dhabi already making headway on that. You got Bhutan already mining Bitcoin. El Salvador's already been actively involved with Bitcoin. What are the next dominoes to fall? Well, that goalpost just got moved up. So the question every single individual out there should be asking themselves, and every single corporation out there, especially in the US, what is your Bitcoin strategy? How are you going to stack, and how long are you going to hold? That's the only question people should be asking right now in anything in finance. Now, moving on, what else we got? We got some good stuff today, guys. I want you all to realize, I do think crypto easy mode is over. Crypto easy mode is over, everybody. That was prior cycles, especially if you're altcoin heavy. Here's why. The crypto market hasn't been the face melting bull everyone was expecting. However, the framework for higher and higher for longer, I do believe, is in place. I think it's going to be much more select on particular assets, asset niches, and also where institutional money is pouring. Also, how these different assets or protocols or technologies are acknowledged in terms of where they're being integrated, how they're being implemented, whether it's Chainlink with SWIFT and DTCC, or Constellation DAG with the Department of Justice, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Transcom, NASA, all these important considerations. Solana, is it going to be integrated with different major either government level or corporate level integrations for their underlying blockchain? We also see things like Cardano with their midnight upgrade, and also being mentioned by David Sachs and President Trump in that the Sunday executive order regarding a crypto reserve. Remember, we still got that acknowledgement on Sunday. So although we had the executive order yesterday specifically calling out Bitcoin, there is consideration that may get outlined today. Maybe we'll suss it out in the future. There is a consideration as to why was XRP, Solana, and Cardano mentioned. Now, I don't think it's going to be exclusive to those, but I do think there's going to be a distinction between a Bitcoin strategic reserve and a crypto investment either or stacking or stockpile paradigm as to what is going on there. David Sachs did acknowledge that XRP, Solana, and Cardano were among those listed because out of the top 10 crypto, and I'm not talking about stable coins, those are basically within the top 5 if you're talking about made in America and you're talking about crypto, not stable coins. In fact, we can actually look at this. If you don't believe me, let's go ahead and look at this right here. Let's zoom down a little bit. So we got Bitcoin, Ethereum, okay? They acknowledge those are already involved. XRP, number 3. Okay, Tether is a stablecoin. BNB is out of China. Solana, next one in America, number 6. USDC is stablecoin. Cardano. So what is it? Cardano, Solana, XRP, Bitcoin, and ETH. Now, are there going to be others? I do believe there will be, and I think a lot of it will have to do with asset seizures, especially some of the war, as British Hodl pointed out on a Spaces I did this morning with Gary Cardone. Remember, we have a whole new action plan on what we're doing with Mexican drug cartels, other legal things that are going on. There's still going to be crypto seizures. This may be a paradigm as to what the action plan is for when the U.S. does take on seized Bitcoin, seized altcoins, and what the plan and process is going to be there. Furthermore, if blockchain is the future technology that the entire world's moving on to, remember before 1991, everything was on pen and paper, file cabinets, right? Analog. And then the world moved online. This is the next integration to where everything is moving on chain. For the efficiency, for the transparency, for the speed of transaction, this is that next evolution. We are in the middle of it right now, and it feels like it's moving so slowly, but I can tell you, having been in this market for roughly 10 years, things are moving exponentially faster than you would see in any other market, any other niche. We are just being impatient. The expectation as to what should come to price action is not necessarily relevant to the speed of adoption and evolution that we're seeing in this technological space. Hold on to your butts, stack in, pick where you want to be diversified, because make no lie, Do not confuse yourself. This is the evolution that the world is moving to. And not everything's going to win, but god damn, we're going to see some huge price action increases here. And we have to let this play out over time because the world is just waking up to it. If you're watching this right now, you're ahead of 96% of the world. We have to let this adoption seep into the minds of the people. When the dominoes start to fall, and they already have, it's going to pick up exponentially. It's going to leave so many people behind. So make sure you're following us for more so we can keep you on the right side of the trend, because this is the opportunity of a multi-generational time frame. Now, jumping back into what we're looking at right here, what do we got? I zoomed down. I guess I lost oh, no, it's over here. Continuing on. Here's Dave Weisberger. We've had him on the channel, friend of the channel. By the way, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 700 people in the room between YouTube and Twitter. Everybody hit that like button. Hit that, if you're on X, hit that heart button. Everybody hit the retweet. If you're watching on YouTube, go over to my Twitter profile, my X profile, retweet this, get this out to more people, show some love. We're bringing you unbiased looks and data-driven approach to this market so that we can stay on the right side of everything. But Dave W. said, 100% agree with John. The only thing I would add is that the executive order fully legitimizes Bitcoin as an investable asset. Not only do we have BlackRock and Fidelity, the two largest asset managers in the history of the world, that already was giving legitimacy. Now we have basically the most powerful country on earth now stating it by presidential executive order that Bitcoin is something that needs to be saved, not sold. And this is something everybody needs to pay attention to. So we need to pay attention to that. Then we see this. Tom Lee says Bitcoin is a $2 trillion asset. Nothing in financial history has hit $2 trillion and vanished. The US government sees it as a strategic reserve. Ignore it at your own risk. That's what you need to pay attention to right now. Not, can I make 7% in the next hour? What the fuck are you talking about? This is the asset of the future. And we're living knowing this right now. You are in the middle of the dominoes falling and you're wondering, it's not moving up to, it dropped $60. You're not looking at it the wrong time frame and you're going to lose if that's your mindset. We are in the middle of a revolution and you can participate by self-custodying your own Bitcoin and really building into your own financial sovereignty. Buy crypto, stack crypto, hodl crypto, protect your crypto. Get a cold storage, getarculus.com, use code BitLab20, best crypto cold storage solution out there so you can protect your crypto and protect your future. This is the time of our lives right now. This is the most important moment of all of our lives right now. And we should not be in any way looking at this chart and going, but why is it pulling back? Why is it pulling down? Why is it crashing? Zoom the hell out on this chart and realize, let's go to the weekly and realize this has only ever been in an uptrend. On the larger time basis, yes, big move up, sell off. We can actually come down to a longer term time frame. Let's turn off all the different lines there and realize there's only been an uptrend. Rise, retrace, continuation, retrace, continuation, retrace, a lot of accumulation, continuation, retrace, continuation. And this is about where we were right here when we were in the middle of the parabola. Boom, launched to the upside. Right here, butting our heads against that resistance, previous all-time high, parabola to the upside. We need to stop being so worried about what the price action is doing in the next 15 minutes, one day, 1 week, and realize we are in the middle of the start of the biggest money players in the world getting involved. So it stands to reason we're going to see a little bit of chop or price action, institutions bringing that boat back. Most retail is going to miss that boat, the second, third, fourth, fifth opportunity before this price runs away. So my advice to you, and this is not financial advice, is stack into your future, have longer term time horizon, and change every opportunity you're ever going to have in the future by making sure you participate in this market. I mean, I can't say it any clearer. Now, continuing on, what else we got? We got some other things we got to look at here. Treasury Secretary Basant says, U.S. is looking for ways forward to acquire more Bitcoin. So although they didn't outline buying in this executive order, they're not going to sell the 200,000. They can use other mechanisms to acquire Bitcoin. And this does not terminate what's going on with Cynthia Lummis's bill, which also has that purchasing 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years, AKA 4 years after this year, because that first 200,000 Bitcoin is likely going to be the start of that million, right? But there's still, and this doesn't even consider the 30 plus states that have legislation on the books to start their own strategic Bitcoin reserve. In fact, yesterday, Texas passed the strategic Bitcoin reserve in the Senate, and now it's going to the House. The House has a 88 Republican lead to 60 Democrats, I believe, and it's going to be very heavily in favor of more likely than not getting passed, which I believe their plan is to buy $500 million worth of Bitcoin. And I can't remember if there's a plan beyond that, but on state levels, we've got so much buying pressure that's going to come in. The problem with this is everybody hears the talk about it and they expect it right now. And they expect that to mean the Bitcoin price is going to go up right now. But these are bureaucracies, democratic bureaucracies that are taking some time to suss out, go through the different legislative processes to then fully be enacted, and having that buying pressure actually meet the market. So there is some time here that if you are paying attention, that you can take advantage of the prices not being higher. This is not the easy market cycle. This is not crypto easy mode anymore. It is incredibly easy, however, if you're paying attention to the forest and the trees, not just why isn't it bull right now? We have the biggest buying pressures in the history of crypto ever. And I would argue any asset, with how fast this technology has come in and how well it can disrupt nearly every industry on earth. And now all the big money players are all getting aware of this essentially en masse, exponentially. What happens when all this buying pressure starts to come into the market? We may need to be a little bit more patient, but those that are patient here and stacking or just not selling are going to reap the best rewards they've ever imagined in their life. Now, continuing on, my question to you is, we got some more things to look at. My question to you is right now, Crypto Summit's going on. You guys are tuned in. We got 150 people here on YouTube and another several hundred watching on X, about 700. Big love to each and every one of you. My question is, if you're watching on YouTube, scroll down right here. If your thing does not say subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Hit that subscribe button right here. When we say ding the bell, this is the bell. Hit this little arrow right here. Turn on all. We put out private member stuff, the BitLab members here on YouTube. You get access to some special stuff, morning TA throughout the week. We've had a lot of stuff that's been going on here. Haven't been able to get like every day this last 2 weeks, but we got a lot of stuff coming that's going to kick right back into here. Once you're subscribed, it will say join here. It's about $1.25 a week, and it's a great way to help keep us going here as well. If you're watching on Twitter, coming back over here on Twitter, let me come over to the page. Come Camellia. Right here. Make sure you're hitting that like button right here. Hit that heart. Only 6 people sharing the love. Hit that retweet. Maybe if we get to 30 retweets today, we will do a $100 USDT giveaway. Let's everybody hit that retweet. We will randomly draw from those people that retweet this. So that's an incentive to do that there. Now, big love to everybody. Now, continuing on, bullish. What else do we got? Okay, Trump's trade wars. It's so bad. Oh my God, when he comes into office, well, here's what we saw in Trump's first office. Boom, we had a little chop right in here. It pushed up and a lot of chop and then the ultimate move up. Okay, this has had a little bit different shape, but very similar to what we saw with the last trade war that we saw when Trump was in office. We're seeing a little bit of a sell-off coming right into a known support region with, especially on Bitcoin, a huge amount of buying pressure getting set up to schedule buying, not in $10 increments or $10 million or $100 million, in billion-dollar increments. And it's only getting stronger. So for me, this is just the buying opportunity of a lifetime. Arguably, some people ask, did I miss the boat? Bitcoin's price is so high. What should I be doing? Is Bitcoin's price too high to be stacking here? We are now in the best buying opportunity in the history of Bitcoin and crypto, because now we have world governments setting up legislation to stack into Bitcoin and crypto. We have the biggest asset managers in the history of the world, BlackRock, Fidelity, and a long list of others that are getting involved providing Bitcoin and crypto-focused products, basically advertising crypto for free. The majority of the world, only 4% of the world has exposure to Bitcoin, okay? The large majority of the people on the planet Earth are only now getting informed and becoming aware in a meaningful way about this, about what the opportunity that Bitcoin and blockchain technologies provide. So is price too high? Well, being that we have this substantiated financial base and government base that is now behind Bitcoin and crypto, now is the best asymmetrical opportunity you've ever seen in the history of any asset ever. So my question to you is, what's your plan? What's your plan? Do you want to participate in the future, much like Google in 1999 or Amazon 1999, 2000? Oh my God, that pushed up, it crashed. Look at that and see where price is now. You'll realize this is the best opportunity in the history of the world. Will there be bubbles along the way? Sure. But the question is, can you look long term? Because now is the moment. So let's get back into it. Let's get back into it because we're seeing the dollar. The move in the Dixie this week was absolutely massive. See this large move down? Boom. This is a percent change. Large move down all the way here, -4. Last times we saw that, boom, was the FTX crash bottom before the bull market started. Boom, right here. The time before that, the COVID crash bottom, boom. And look at how much higher this is. And then, of course, way back here in 2015, this ultimate bottom of this drop and near bottom of this whole range before the move from $200 to up near just shy of $20,000. The setups are here. People are getting so lost on wanting price to go up right now, they don't see the bullish setup and the buying opportunity. Then we see this chart from TechDev, third signal in 12 years. We see it here, pop. What we see, pew. We see this, pop, pew. Guys, the data is here if you're paying attention. Now, does this bullish data suggest or mean that price can't pull back and drop down into 77,000, drop down and touch and scare the shit out of the majority of people at 74,000? No, in fact, that could be in some ways more likely because of how much appetite when these corporations, big institutions, big money players, governments become aware of this. It sets up the ripe opportunity to create the washout before liftoff. Now, does that mean don't buy here? No, you cannot time the market. Professional traders, they can do it, but they also have risk management set up and they're also not doing it with 100% of their portfolios. My advice, and this is not financial advice, this is strategy advice, is right now, look for your entries. Get exposure. If it drops a little further, basically you ladder your entries on the way down and you get the average of those prices to take advantage of it. So you also don't go, I'm only buying if it goes to $74,000 and it goes to 76 and launches. And then you're like, God dang it, I should have. You need to be a little bit more well orchestrated here because on the macro, and regionally, this could be a $10,000 range. On the macro, we are setting up for that next leg to the upside. And then we see this chart. This is a global business cycle. This is also, boom, bottoming and ticking up. This also correlates perfectly. Guys, the data is here. Then we see the regulatory empowerment also in all of this. A list of recent SEC lawsuits, investigations involving crypto that were dismissed or paused. This is since the regime change with this new empowering administration that we have in office now. With Gary Gensler gone, what do we see? Binance data announced that it was dropped. Okay, let's just go through these. Binance, Coinbase, OpenSea, Robinhood, Uniswap, Gemini, Justin Sun, Consensus, Kraken, Yuga Labs, and there's more than this as well. The point here, the landscape for innovation, development, VC funding, confidence from investors that you're not going to invest in something, and there's no chance that the SEC will get involved, but this is a significantly smaller chance. And it's going to have to be due to something that is actually malicious, not because banks and governments are scared of crypto. We got to suppress the shit out of it. No, this is, hey, we're in a landscape now that you can invest in confidence and there's freedom of innovation now in the space. That's the point here. And then we see NASDAQ, following the lead of crypto, will soon offer 24-hour trading. Do you think this is going to happen without the integrations and implementations of blockchain? No, we're seeing Ondo, which just had the Ondo Summit February 7th, with partnerships like BlackRock and partnerships like Wisdom Tree and MasterCard. And I mean, the list was incredibly long with the types of players that are going to be involved with that. But talking about not just having tokenized US treasuries, but also US stocks, US bonds, the top, I think they said top 1,000 assets on the stock market, but making a global marketplace that is also on chain. Guys, I cannot believe that people are even questioning being bullish here. The world is changing in front of our eyes and people are worried. And this is why. If you're wondering why the timeline looks so angry, it's because people are like, I thought it was supposed to be a bull market. And look at all these, zooming in a bit, minus 35, minus 36, minus 39, minus 40, minus 44, all of these coins all the way down here to whiff, minus 84, StarkNet, minus 70, stacks down 73%. It feels like a bear market to most because they're not situated with the majority of their portfolio in Bitcoin and then taking the venture capitalist approach to diversifying their investments to a number of altcoins and a smaller percentage of their crypto portfolio. Now, are altcoins still going to perform well? I think altcoin market is still going to perform well in certain segments because this is an institutional bull run. We don't have new retail here yet. I think we're going to start to get that, but I think it's going to be somewhat of a segmented, compartmentalized altcoin run that when we do get it. Well, we probably will have a month period where everything's running, but we're going to start seeing focused investment thesis and focused narrative thesis playing out in the market where things are going to be in a meaningful and real and overwhelming volume sort of way, focused with liquidity, like Ondo, like Chainlink, like probably Cardano, XRP, Solana, because those were listed. And there's also a lot of development mind share around those. But then also other sub areas too with, rather than a specific AI project, BitTensor Tau, which is an AI ecosystem marketplace to get AI developed. And also if you're an AI developer, to go get equitable and democratic access to be a developer. If it's good. If yours is the best, it's going to get hired, and all that's going to be within the Tau ecosystem. Then you have other things out there. Yes, I do still think that the Bitcoin layer 2 narrative is going to play out, but I think it's somewhat distracted now because then you also have Coinbase with Base, and Base is starting to look like it's trying to compete with to be the best crypto out there, and it's not a tradable coin. Kind of brilliant on Coinbase's part. But then you have the ability to have things like Aerodrome that's processing all those transactions and making DeFi utilizing Bitcoin available without all the layer 2s. You do wrap Bitcoin on Base, which is all going to be transacted through Aerodrome. Then you have things like Morpho, and you have things like Moonwell, and you have other protocols within the Base ecosystem that are going to be processing a huge number of transactions, especially as adoption grows, especially as institutions stack in. What we're seeing right now is frustrating people because they're expecting it to be like what we saw in alt seasons in the past, and everything just goes parabolic. But there's big money players here. They're hedging both sides in both directions, and I think larger players just got it put on their awareness. They're just starting to realize, and it's going to be a percentage, it's not going to be all, that there are some sectors of the altcoin market that may have meaningful reasons to participate in. And we're going to have to see how this crypto summit plays out today, but also ETFs as they move out. If we get index ETFs of the top 10 or the top 10 AI or the top 10 DeFi, we're going to start seeing a huge dynamic shift of where liquidity focuses in this space. So right now, it's very important. Tune in every day, discover crypto, tune in here, BitLab Academy, tune in Blockchain Basement. The funny thing is we all talk about similar things, but we talk about it with different lens focus. Discover Crypto is primarily news with a little TA. Here, I talk about what is happening in the crypto market and how to navigate it, how to do technical analysis, how to make sure that we can look at charts and understand what's going on. But don't just look at Okay, here's a rising wedge, but what is that rising wedge in this asset as it relates to what the context of the market is right now? How do we read on-chain data? How do we really understand what's going on in crypto as a whole? That's what BitLab's about. And then we got Blockchain Basement, of course. And remember, Discover, BitLab, and Blockchain, we all basically run consecutively. We redirect into each other. So you can just stay. If you watch Discover Crypto in the morning, it just automatically redirects you into me Tuesdays through Fridays. And then I redirect into Blockchain Basement. And on Mondays, we swap that. So Blockchain goes after DC. But the point is, Blockchain Basement then also looks at some of the political things going on as well as what's going on in the crypto, getting different views, different thoughts, different lenses on what's going on, because there is no answer. There's a variety of data points that all of us pull differently, and not just us here at the Hit Network, but broadly out there on the Mario Nawfal spaces that we're hosting, and also, on Gary Cardone. Everybody has a different lens. You got to look at what's right for you and what makes most sense to you, what excites you. Because there's going to be so much money to be made in this market. And at the end of the day, this is not just about numbers and making money. I want to make that clear right now for every single one of you. If this is your first time here tuning in on BitLab, I just want to say, first off, welcome to the family. My name's Kelly Kellum. Thank you to our channel partners, CoinW, NordVPN.com/BitLab. You get 4 months free. Arculus, best crypto cold storage solution out there. GetArculus.com. BitLab 20 for 20% off. But this is a channel where we're talking about looking at the data, how to navigate the data so that we can make great decisions on this market. But more than anything, these markets are a great metaphor for how we handle life, how you handle gratitude. Are you lost in gratitude, or are you just stuck in expectation and self-victimization? Fuck that nonsense. We are going to dominate our lives, and we're going to do that by figuring out how we can be of service to others. We're going to dominate that by making sure that we are grateful for the ability that we're even in this market and aware of it in the first place. Grateful that we have friends, grateful that we have this community, grateful that if we mess up, we can learn from our mistakes and step forward in a more meaningful way. If you ever fall off your path, don't berate yourself. Say, damn, I fell off my path. Okay, let's get back on it. A lot of people fall off their path and then just go way out into the woods because fuck it, I got off my path. No, we are going to grow together as people. We're going to grow our portfolios together as investors, and we are going to dominate this market because there is so much more to come. And I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's see some love. Let's see some hearts. Let's see some thumbs up in the live chat. Every single one of you, I appreciate you. I just wanted to give a little bit more motivation today because I do really appreciate and love each and every one of you. It is my birthday on Sunday, so this is kind of my birthday stream. I love you. I appreciate you. I cannot believe that I'm 41. I feel like I am.
Happy birthday, Kelly.
I feel like I'm 16 with a 722-year-old spirit with a 81-year-old body. But I'm just happy to be here with y'all. I really do appreciate and love each and every one of you. I hope you all spend some time away from charts this weekend. Don't be frustrated. Learn from frustration. It's an indication you're expecting something. With that being said, guys, let's just keep up. Let's just keep doing it. I'm going to shoot you off over to the blockchain basement. And you know what? We got to sing the song today. We got to sing the song today. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for being here. Each and every single one of you are my friends. I really do love you guys. We got to be playful. We can't take ourselves too serious because it's you're cool. Fuck all that. Let's be fucking just wonderful life. I'm dropping the F-bombs today. My apologies. We're friends and family. And if there are kids watching, there's F words out there in the world sometimes. You just got to know when to say them and when not to say them. But with that being said, God bless each and every single one of you. My heart goes out to you. I'm grateful for you. Have a wonderful weekend. Adios. Hit that like button, sucker. Take advantage of that deal. lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. We're about to have a major integration with Discover Crypto, Blockchain Basement, where the communities are migrating to one. You're getting a ton more content. It's going to cost quite a bit more than BitLab for that exclusive alpha. But if you sign up through that deal right there, It is not only, I think 15 days free, but it's a significantly lower price and you're going to be grandfathered in at that price. So take advantage of it right now. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Adios.